Come in, everyone. Before we get into this evening's live, I'd like to go over a quick synopsis of exactly what we're going to be covering in this live. And I think it's very, very important as we're getting very, very close to the rate cut midweek, just about 2.5 days out. JW, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for well over a year with the I Told You So badge. I really appreciate that, my friend. So with the rate cut happening, and unless something crazy happened, we know there's a rate cut coming, but we'll see what the Fed has to say, because that can dramatically influence whether the market's going to continue to rip or if the market free falls. So leading into the rate cut, the only way I would have thought differently today is if we would have lost 56.4 cents, because then we would have had to drop back down to the 2018 resistance as support at 53.3 cents. I feel good because we talked about that scenario just in case it played out, which fortunately it looks like we took the up route. We'll talk about this. We're not out of the woods yet, but this is definitely a positive development for XRP, but we have to make sure that this is something more than a facade here. Messi, welcome in, along with Simply Better and Saab DK. UK Phil and Mo, thank you both for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. UK Phil, I played my first game of Fortnite earlier in a couple days. I got that victory, but I didn't have a crown at the beginning, so, you know, I just take my win and don't get a crown win. But, you know, we'll take it. We'll take it. Solo. We'll take it. Mark Caston, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3 months plus with the XRP Meteor. Rob Hokaluk, welcome in, buddy. I really, really appreciate you being in here and all the back and forth the last few days. You've helped me out a lot here with some of the issues. And thank you for being in Tom's Army for 6 months plus. Jasper and Jorge, welcome. And UK Phil, on just now. Well, if you're on after, I'll definitely try to get on a game with you. I've been wanting to play. So, I'm definitely getting my groove back. Saab, welcome. And he says, we are going down for the next half a month, or 1/2 month, 1 or 2 months into the new. It's possible. That's why I want to watch this and see what we would have to do and see what the realism is here. Gabriel, welcome in. Maddie, good evening. The other thing, I did a quick update when my son was at physical therapy. If you guys haven't seen it, it was only 7 minutes. I encourage you to take a look at it. I went over B2 Gold as well before the end of the day, along with XRP. As yes, B2 Gold is doing great, but it technically gave us a sell signal. And some of you might think it's crazy because of where we're at. And then all of a sudden, at the end of the day, I think that signal is starting to play out here. This happened the last 45 minutes. I put the update out about 2 candles, I believe, before this happened. But I got a sell signal. And no, I don't use some fancy indicator or some fancy trading tool. I got my own indicator that told me that we had a bearish divergence that was playing out in the 45-minute. We had price rise and crashing volume. That told me, and this is very important, and we'll go over this more as the live goes on once we get done with XRP, but when you see price rising, so the initial push, excellent. Volume, consolidate, so you expect whatever here, but now we start to push back up in those 45s, the volume crashed. Now you're looking for a bearish breakout in volume to confirm the the sell signal. Well, this at the end of the day very well might end up playing out as that sell signal now. But I was alerted to myself that we had a sell, and now it's up to you at the $3.33 mark. Like I've told everybody, that should be up to you. I can't tell you whether to buy or sell. I'm just telling you what happened, and I showed everybody prior to that little drop. So we'll see if it can have a continuation up tomorrow, or if this is the start of a correction. We are massively oversold. I mean, overbought, and I have an inverse indicator, so I put mine inverse, so my audience, I know who's been around for a while. This is generally oversold. On mine, it's reverse, so this is actually overbought. So anywhere from the 30-minute all the way through the 4-hour, it's majorly overbought. Daily even came into overbought. So in my opinion, we're going to have a correction here. We're going to have a correction, so I put that out. And First Majestic, we technically got a sell signal as well. And it did end up starting to break down a little bit as well at the end of the day. So whether or not this plays out or not, I solely bought thinking that we were going to have a run up prior to the rate cuts. But I said the week of rate cuts, that's all, it's all different though. Like this could be the end now. the closer we get to the actual cut, this whole market could end up dumping after. You know, we don't know. So, made a lot of money doing that in the last few, last about week for B2 Gold and First Majestic, more than we expected. But now we have to watch because it did give us a signal. So it's either going to be a breakout there or that's a fake out and it's going to break back up, or we're going to get the correction that we desperately need. I was disappointed this morning. You've heard me right. I was disappointed when I seen it open at 5% up this morning because it needed that correction one way or another back down to around $3, whether by virtue or by... So it could have just went back down there first and I wouldn't even have seen a sell signal. But the fact it came up so overzealous and the volume was crashing away, it gave us a tailor-made sell signal, unless that 45 at the end of the day would have been a big green volume and shot us up. Well, unfortunately, it shot us down. Which ended up being some sell volume. So we'll see how that plays out. I love being transparent with that. But going deeper here is going to be XRP. We've got some news and notes to speak of as well. As whenever the fear and greed index is even towards neutral, you can play it as a sell. But normally you wait until it goes into greed. But look, again, today it's back down to fear at 39, and yesterday it was at neutral. And then all of a sudden today, we see what's starting to happen. The market did start dipping down, but we'll see. And then XRP price spikes 10% as Robinhood quietly relist XRP. Now, technically, I didn't relist shit for the USA. This is for European customers. But the rumor is they're going to be relisting it on the USA exchanges shortly. In the USA, you can now watch it on Robinhood again as a trading pair. You just can't buy it in the USA. So I think this starts in the EU, and then eventually they'll release it into the USA. And then we've got a major upgrade incoming, and it was a big network issue that's been addressed, and it passed through the nodes needed. So now we're going to get some kind of correction here with the ledger, and it's a pretty serious issue. So we'll talk about that. We've talked about it in the past. And now we'll see what kind of resolution they come up with. So I'm very excited about this live. I need to timestamp this. Make sure to hit that like button so YouTube does recommend this live. John Hall, welcome in. Tanya, good evening, love, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over almost 2 years now with the I Told You So badge. I think it's your last month with the I Told You So badge. Cape Cod Kyle, welcome in from Cape Cod, Massachusetts, not Florida, as I once found out humbly live on air. Glad to see you in here, and a multi-month member in Tom's Army. It's a beautiful thing. It just doesn't always show up for him for some reason. It's a strange thing YouTube does. But make sure to hit that like button so YouTube does recommend this live. By being recommended, I'll pop up in the news feed. So whether you've seen my content or not, you'll be able to make an educated and informed decision. Coco, welcome in. Kryptonian, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 6 months plus with the XRP predictor. Jorge, Marvin, good evening. How low do you think XRP can go? It all depends. It all depends. Right now, because of the way it's moving, it's how high will it run before it hits the wall, and it could be very quickly. So we'll go over all of this because there's two options that can happen here. Right now, it seems to be taking the upward route on this channel, but the channel is just that. It's going to hit a brick wall if it can't break past it, and then I'll show you how it needs to hold to be showing a bullish push up to the top of the channel instead of a bearish breakdown, which we had earlier, but managed to hold the channel. We can take a look at HBAR tonight, Maddie, for sure, and good evening, friend. Sammy, gold pump today, it's on all. Yes, it did. It's just gold, just like I talked about B2 gold. I think gold, we're going to get into an interesting time here, and I don't want to see it. Nobody wants to see it, but we've worked our way into a majestic level. I think it would be in our best interest if gold could dump leading into the rate hike here for the next 2 days. If you want to hear my bullish bias, if gold could dump even $50 going into the rate cut, my fucking God. But the technical breakup here right now is up to 2,616, and then it goes much, much, much higher as we go forward. But yeah, it's definitely gold's at an all-time high here at it's at 2,582. It's incredible. It was a few dollars higher earlier, but the close today, that's the highest it's been. So yeah, a lot to talk about, a lot of beautiful things to watch. The XRP Bitcoin pairing is having a nice bullish push here back over the 1009. So definitely something we'll talk about here as well. So let me timestamp this as we have a technical move up to 1142 if this plays true. And fortunately, we're taking the upward route. I always show both, but it came all the way back down here to the X marks the spot, exactly where I targeted the move to start. Exactly. So, and I did that days in advance, and now it seems like we're starting to make that move. And if we can just hold 966 now, we should be on our merry way up to the 1142, which should be bullish for XRP as well. So we'll take a look at everything, Bitcoin and everything in between. So make sure that like button. Let me just do this very quick intro. Good evening. 5:36 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, September 6th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. Oh, you guys, I was going to show you my little buddy that ran by. There was a squirrel running across my driveway in the backyard, because I have cement all the way into my backyard, and all the way up until the grass. But a squirrel ran in, he had a big nut in its mouth, and he just walked right past me. Very nice. I have food I'm feeding him too right now, because that's what I do. That's what I do. I like to interact with nature. I think it's a nice thing. But anyhow, so that was a hell of an intro there, huh? We had a heck of a lot of things to talk about. So I guess the way we should start here is let's take a look at the most upfront, the most in our face setup we have right now. So what ended up happening here is we've had a very interesting few hours here, haven't we? So we come all the way up to about 59.1 cents. Right now, I'm not surprised that it started to pull down, because we technically could have back tested 57.2, and this channel was set up. And I don't want to call it a broadening wedge, because I prefer to call it a channel here, but I understand that some of you might be looking at this and you're like, you know what if we just kind of expand this out a little bit? I don't want to look at it that way, only because I think the pattern's set up for us the way it wanted to be. And we have, and just follow me real quick, because this is going to tell us everything leading into the rate cut, whether we are truly bullish or truly bearish. So support, even another support. We had resistance 1, resistance 2. So to me, it's probably going to have to come up and hit resistance 2. I did not mean to make a nutsack on the bottom, but I suppose that's exactly what happened. But I guess you need some testicular fortitude to believe it'll go up. So I guess that makes sense. But it's Jeffrey, welcome in, and thank you for tuning in, my friend. I greatly appreciate it. Sorry if I missed some names. It was going hot and heavy, and I was trying to do the intro, and I still got more to catch up with, but I appreciate you being in, friend. So if we look at this logically, we should be coming up at some point up to that 60.6 cents to retest that level. And it looks like that's what we're in right now. And the reason this is so important here is because we created this downtrending resistance. This could be getting back into the expansion zone. It really could. And now we'll know how our expandable support would be, but it's dicey. We've gotten an opportunity here to see maybe what the development and progression is of this uptrend, trying to get us up to that 60.6. But if that breaks down, then this is the cool part of this, because it created that. Now if that breaks down, we know we're at least at worst going to come down here and retest that short-term crossover into what could be a bullish short-term push to 60.68. And it looks like we have at least right now, and there's still 30 minutes left, so, you know, it's interesting how this will end. But right now it looks like a kind of a hammer. Well, not a hammer, but a dragonfly possibly. But it looks like a bullish doji. Oh, if it closes above 63, we absolutely have go time. Absolutely. 100%. I don't disagree with that. And you know how we can get there? If we break this channel, the technical target from where I have it set up is up to 64.7. And the beauty of what's going on here, you see how we're consolidating finally over the 2018 resistance for the first time in over 6.5 years? And all we have to do is go back to the evidence in front of us. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people watching today. I don't. I'm not going to look. But I just don't feel like there's going to be a lot of people that'll watch today just because of what's been going on, but I think they should. First resistance was January of 2018. And that was the all-time high. And on this chart, it's 331, but some of them go all the way up to 382. That was resistance 1. Also the swing high of this formation. Right now, the swing low took 27 months to come down to 10.8 cents for support 1. Support 2, December of 21, or yeah, December of 2020, January of 21, we'll just say December of 2020, at 18.2 support 2. Resistance 2 is $1.98, the infamous run up in April of 21, right when I started this channel. I started it just about a month before that run up. Fun fact, I've never missed a day of doing updates in over 3.5 years, so it's a true honor to say that. Support 3 is at 30.3 cents in January of 2023. We've got resistance 3 right here in March of 2024 at 74.8. Support 4, which is very important because we've already confirmed the pattern and now we reconfirm consolidation after another failed breach up, and we held at 40 cents back in July of 24. Just a short while back in August of 24, we got our 4th resistance, which was very important because we not only got rejected, we ducked back down from 64, stopped ourselves around 47, and didn't even need to come all the way back down to 41. It's very important. Now, have we finally not said this is going to be resistance 5, but is this the start of a new frontier here for XRP? And what I mean by that is if we never give back that 2018 resistance, we're off to the races. The technical target, if we finally broke out of this consolidation after all this time, and you can see that big fan-fucking-tastic W reversal here. And the technical target out of this, and some people don't want to hear it, but it's $2.40, and that's not going to be easy. But after the 6.5 year consolidation, that is the technical target. Now, Pump Master Flash, I don't just have an imposter. I've got about like 600 of them on Facebook, and Facebook does diddly squat. And I got reamed by my own audience, so I had to make a very, I'm sure if you guys follow on Facebook, you should, XRP Future Millionaire. You'll know it's me because it's spelled XRP Future Millionaire correctly. You'll also know it's me because I have 4,295 followers on Facebook, and the imposter does not. So it's very simple to find out the imposter. The imposter tried to scam me on my Thomas Spica, my main profile on Facebook, because I made a separate page, a digital page for content, which is created on my other one, but it's not connected as to where they could message me thinking I'm a different person. And they did. And I'm talking to this person in Messenger, and you can clearly see they don't speak English. And the more absurd thing is, these people that are reaming me out on Facebook, let this sink in. Yes, I'm monetized on Facebook, so I've made like a few dollars through the just advertisement the last couple days. What, $10 this week? But not one person on Facebook has ever donated. I've never asked. I've never suggested it, but not one person's donated. But they think that I'm going to give them free XRP by just sending me a certain amount. So the big scam by this person right now, as I found out by screenshots, is that they're trying to tell you, much like the Cash App scam or the other ones where they tell you send them 100, they'll turn it into 1,000. They're telling people to send them 100, send them 1,000, and they'll send them, double, triple, and people are falling for it. So, not willing to donate for all my time, but think I'm going to give out free XRP. Does that make any sense to anybody? I mean, on this planet, I don't think I should be doing all the work and giving out all the free stuff if nobody's donating. I don't see how that would be fair. So everybody should just think that. As soon as I told him to text me, he stopped. Yep. Oh yeah, it's a very simple game. It's very simple, but it's a disaster. If you think it's bad, look at me on TikTok. I have 20,000 plus followers, and I just post this content. I don't even do anything dedicated there because it's dumb. But the imposters there are there's thousands. Some of them even got one of them even had like 1,500 followers. One of them had like up to 8,000. People are following them with my regurgitated content. So, I mean, I don't know if I should be flattered or, like, pissed. Twitter, I tried on Twitter, X. I have, like, I don't know, 1,500 people that follow me on Twitter or X. But I got, a long time ago, shadow banned. So nobody could see my content when I started to speak about upcoming events for XRP. And I don't know, I must have pissed the wrong person off. But I had about 1,300 followers at the time, and every single person would say they couldn't see my content when they would message me. So then I just said, to hell with Twitter or X, I'm just going to put my content out there so everybody can see it, you know, if they want to. So if you follow me on X, my content goes up before, you know, on every live, every update. So all I literally use X is for, and I like when people ask questions. I try to be personable to show everybody. 1,127 followers now. But profile, I literally just put my content on here, and I put, like, if people want to follow my Facebook, I put this even on YouTube because I throw stuff like this, and I showed this morning if we broke through the target down, but I also had the target of 60.6. We also had up over the top the technical move up, but it was more relevant to show the move down if it were to break down because we're in a moment where it could have. But we talked about exactly the level. So if you want to follow me on Facebook, I put stuff like that out. And, you know, because it doesn't get around on YouTube. There's no benefit for me to post a picture, you know, or to do that kind of stuff. I think, so anyhow. Oh, yeah, I think you needed to put that out as well. You need to put that out to warn people as well. Everybody, you know, it's good to be warned. So this is what I'm thinking for XRP. Remember how we talked about how this could be the new uptrend to get us up to this area? Let's just put this over here and then we'll just base it from here. So 61, if it were to bounce out from here, technical target could get us up to 64.9. Now the possibility is here though, it could get rejected at the channel resistance as well, but the fact it moved up off of support, ready? What do we always say? It's a common theme here. So resistance buys support. So resistance buys support. Now you have to understand what has been formed, and we were able to see that, but sometimes you don't see it until after the channel already forms. You know, there's no way of knowing it. Now we knew that this was a possibility because we extended it out from there. And I was very comfortable with that. And now it did. It swirled around, but then it bounced out. So now the logic says because we formed this channel after the initial break up, channel, resistance, support, another support. Probably got to come back up here, even if bearish, so that we could get that third hit on resistance and confirm that this was what could be considered, I guess, in a sense, a rising channel. Which if this happens too long, yes, it can be a bullish continuation. But if you get rejected up there on this reversal back up, it could end up being a bearish fall. So we got a lot working in our favor, but we still need to get out of these let's see, the uncertain zone. How about that? We need to get out of the uncertain zone. But what I've said in the past, I'm liking the emergence here out of the 2018 resistance. So it's a beautiful thing we're watching. It's a beautiful thing we're watching. And I don't mind when it's bullish or bearish because I can make an opportunity for ourselves, or we can make it for ourselves. And right now the opportunity is, if it gets over that 61 and holds, that should come up to 64.9. As long as it doesn't come back below 57.2, we're okay. But if you're looking for a short-term move, you have to make sure that it holds that 58 cent mark. Because if we lose 58 cents, we're going to come back down to about 57. 57.2, and there's no way to avoid that in my opinion. Or it could just roll back down. I don't think we see price action until November. Oh, we're gonna see some price action one way or another. Our swim, Pump Master Flash. I got to read that I don't even know if I got to read that in a sec. I completely missed what it said. The one thing I am super proud of this community though. He said, sad because we got the great community in here. You should be super proud, Tom. You built this as XRP fell apart and made a huge commitment. Yes, sir. And that was my whole goal. I knew it would be easy to get the subscribers that first month or two because I was telling everybody to buy because I seen a big breakout coming. So we had a 47 cent average for anybody who bought with me in the beginning of, or the end of March leading into that move in April. End of April. It took, what, 6 days for it to go from 52 cents up to $1.98. So it was quick. And then I made the dedicate. I told everybody I'll be here during this whole drop. I said it's going to be a multi-year bear market. And there's no reason to own XRP when we sold it at $1.66 on that failed retest back up. And it played out, and we didn't have to buy back in until late 22 and then the 23 again. So, but what I'm happy to see here, and I've spoke about this before, but I think this goes unnoticed just because of the way it's setting up. We're also worried about the 2018 resistance, that blue line, that it's now turned to support unless we see otherwise. Now that's support. But what I feel like we tried to do here, which is, it's fucked up. Well, not, it's interesting, is if we really did this, and this actually is a right shoulder. I mean, guys, there's so much stuff and gales going on here. If this breaks out, we've got so many bullish formations here set up. And the crazy thing is, it even back tested the short-term breakout we talked about yesterday, or 2 days ago. Maybe it was yesterday. I don't remember. I think we talked about it yesterday. But we had that short-term back test we had to do. And yeah, it was yesterday in the live. If it were to break down and we held that, we were fine. And we overextended it. And I remember we did this. And it's just amazing how when you start doing stuff like this, the technicals can be your friend. Being able to chart can be your friend. But now we've got a big area, and that's the cup and handle resistance at 61 cents. Do you remember what the target was, everybody? If we break out of the short-term pattern that we diagnosed on that channel, 61 cents is the top of this channel. Is it a coincidence, or is this telling us we absolutely have a target up to about 61 and some change? So, I mean, it seems to be playing out into that direction. Whether or not we ever get to 65 is another question, but it certainly seems to be wanting to play up to 61. I've seen everything I need to see. Unless it breaks that support we talked about, it looks like it wants to come up to 61. No questions asked. What's causing this? The rest of the market is a bloodbath. Pure manipulation. Pure manipulation. I believe XRP and Bitcoin are running opposite of each other right now. So now the likelihood is we're going to have to be a little careful with what happens going forward once XRP fulfills what it's trying to do up to 61, if that's what it wants. Or we have to be careful at the flip of the clock at 8 to see if there's a continuation. But what's causing this is fear. The Trump assassination attempt again yesterday caused a lot of fear. The fact that we still know that the U.S. government is the single largest holder of Bitcoin by virtue because of Mt. Gox and all the scams and stuff. And we know that they're dumping them religiously. That's a risk. The fact that we know MicroStrategy bought several $1 billion worth of, well, not recently, but they bought a big edition. Well, it might have been several billion. What am I talking about? They bought a big edition here recently. So there's a lot of different things that might be speaking to us on why we have to be bearish. The fact that there's a rate cut and we don't exactly know what kind of rate cut it's going to be. In the sense of, is Jerome Powell going to get very dovish and start talking like the market's a pile of shit and we're going to need extended rate cuts going throughout the rest of the year? Does he surprise me and not do 25 and do like 75 or 100 rate point cut? If he does that, go. But if he does, like, if he starts talking about the economy's good and he starts giving people like a bad taste of yada yada, you know what I mean? You know, things can happen very quickly. If you see 40 cents again, I'm buying. You absolutely should. Once it hits that 40 cents and below, it should be an auto buy. It automatically should be. But I see a head and shoulders building here, and I'm not willing to say this target's not going to fill out. I gave a technical target of 56,797 on the rejection at 59,210, which we got, and that target was 56,797. We came down to 57,500. Am I willing to say it came within 800 points? It's close enough? Absolutely not. Because I see a small bear flag even on this drop of a bear flag. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There's a bear flag within a bear flag here. Unless it pulls up and this ends up being a W in disguise, it's going to have to finish this drop, which I would prefer for it to just go. Everybody knows I prefer for it to do that, so I got no reason to be bearish Tom. But I'm not going to lie about things. That's how we could front run that drop from just over 59K. Just like we said, if it double topped around 60,500, that's a big problem, and that's what it did. That's how we started this pattern. But it doesn't mean we've broken down bearish. As long as we're over 54,256, Bitcoin is very bullish. May not seem like it at times, but you need these healthy corrections. So you see these corrections. Wouldn't it be nice for B2 Gold to have a healthy correction here now? I don't want this to be a facade. So let's see what we need to do here. I'm gonna be realistic here. And I jump like this with B2 Gold because nobody will watch if I just do it without telling anybody. Some of you will. Some of you will. I take that back. Some of you will. So what I'm seeing here, first layer is right here in the 45. So it's either we're going to hold if we have something like this, which is fine. That's fine. Because it would suggest that on the open tomorrow, we would have to come down to no less than, ooh, that doesn't seem like enough. But hey, maybe it is. Maybe $3.27 were super hot. And then, hi y'all, we rich yet. It depends what you're doing. I'm doing very well. I'm not a millionaire, but I'm doing very well through commodities, precious metals, our crypto when we decide to get in and out. Tom, all respect for all your calls. I'm just a bear looking for a picnic basket. Boo boo. Yep. And like, look how this 45 closed. This speaks that bearish divergence we've seen between the volume in the 45 and the price action was not a good sign. You don't want a divergence, a bearish one at that. Now, if the price was dropping and the volume was just, you know, it would be a bullish divergence if we had it going the same way. But unfortunately, we crossed in a bearish fashion. So that's what we're going to have to watch. And if it doesn't hold that, let's just say for whatever reason, which I don't think it's crazy to say at all, that 327 doesn't hold. Well, there is a possibility. It's a lesser possibility at that. But there is a possibility we wicked here. We did this. We came through. And maybe that is just the uptrend. And yeah, maybe, you know, we had an overzealous runoff. I find it hard to believe that we're going to come all the way to 280, though. Now, I do find it not so hard to believe that we can come back down here. But I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to see as this plays out because it's going to be very interesting. At least for me, it is. So just take that knowledge for what it's worth. Let's do some reading right now to see what the hell is going on across XRP landscape. I would like to talk about the XRP, the Robinhood thing. I talked about it the last day and a half, but let's read the actual. What is? Oh, that's what was going on. I'm like, why won't this stay? There was a cap for my water. That figures. That figures. So, how many of you have heard about this? And right now, this is in the EU, but in the USA, we can now at least look at it on Robinhood. I wouldn't trust Robinhood; they're scumbags. But I mean, it brings a lot of liquidity, and it's a commission-free style. But we have, I'm pleasantly surprised, 117 people in here. Please make sure to hit that like button. 40 of you have not taken the initiative to hit the like button, and that could help us, you know, increase our new members. It really can. YouTube will recommend us if people actually hit the like button. The ratio is not great today, so I'm not sure they're recommending it. I highly doubt it. If you do appreciate my work and you're like, man, this guy puts in a lot of time, join Tom's Army when we're having times of volatility to the upside. Take some of that profit. It's $9.99 a month, and join Tom's Army. Not only do you get to join me and pay it forward, you get the emoji badges of me being abducted by aliens starting in month 1, all the way out right now to the 3-year Diamond Hands badge, XRP Diamond Hands. You can also get the emotes during the lives that you can use. They're mine for my channel. And you get my content 20 to 30 minutes early while they're doing the YouTube. It's ridiculous, but they do a check for copyright and to see if it's available for ads when they put an update out, which I need the ads on so that YouTube will recommend my content, because they're not going to recommend it usually without ads because they don't get anything out of it. Remember, if they're showing an ad, they make $1 off of us. But you can see the content while it's going through that check, and I've got it down to about 18 minutes on this beta now. It started at 30, but I fine-tuned it a little bit. So for 18 minutes or 20 minutes, you can watch it if you're part of Tom's Army, and there's no ads during that. I can't put them on, so you don't have to watch ads. So there's a way for you to 100% watch my content ad-free. During the lives, I do it ad-free for the members who are part of Tom's Army, past, present, or future. So there's another incentive why you could pay it forward. You don't have to watch ads during the live, and that's for everybody. But once it's on rerun, I turn the lives back on. After all, I need YouTube to recommend it, and I deserve to make a little bit of ad revenue. I put in a lot of time. It's not a lot of ad revenue, but I deserve some of it. And a lot of times, like in the lives, you know, I don't get not every live do we get donations. So I am foregoing any kind of revenue during the live itself, because the biggest boost in my revenue would come during the live itself, because there's all the people on here at the same time. So be considerate when you ask me to do things. Consider about, you know, the time I put in. YouTube super chats are appreciated. You can Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. That's in my YouTube homepage. You can find links there. But I just encourage the like, and I encourage you to share this and be positive. That's basically all we need. That's all we need. And you see, we haven't had no donations or new members of Tom's Army during this live, so I really do need the likes so we can get new members that might want to join as well. So the XRP, so the price of XRP, let's start from here. So XRP price spikes 10% as Robinhood quietly relist XRP. And don't forget, BITUNIX and HOTCOIN. You trade XRP worldwide with the lowest spot and leverage trading fees. You don't need a KYC or VPN. There's no reason for Robinhood. And you don't got to worry about that BS. It's in the video description below. It's in my links and my page. And those are the two exchanges I use right now. I also have the XRP ledger via Zoom, which is now Zaman, formerly known as Zoom. And it gives you exposure to the XRP ledger. And I have the XRP wallet app as well. The XRP healthcare wallet app. But take advantage of these times. It's not always going to be the times we're in. Get yourself situated. If you want to copy trade on HOTCOIN, you can do it. It's just, we're in an opportune moment right now. And yeah, sometimes it's not the buy today. But like as you've seen with commodities 7-8 days ago, the buy signal was there and we made 35% on almost B2 Gold roughly. And now, or 32%. And on First Majestic, it was up near 40. I mean, it's unbelievable. And now I see people telling me today they bought B2 Gold right as I tell them there's a sell signal. Like, this is what I mean. Nobody wants, well, not nobody, but a lot of people will refuse to buy it when it's in the moment, when it should be bought. But they'll FOMO in right at the end of the move. And for record purposes, B2 Gold has a big move to go. But it does show a sell signal here. I hope I'm wrong. B2 Gold's my baby. And I also have a call option strategically placed on B2 Gold. I opened it at $2.38 or $2.42. The call options for it to mature and be at $3.50 by the second week of January of 25. If that happens, that means that I would be able to exercise my right to buy those shares at $2.30 or $2.42, even though in today's terms it's at, you guessed it, if I made the option appreciate at $3.50. So you get, that's how much profit you make, and you get that many additional shares on top. That's how many if you exercise it. No different than if you do a gold or silver option large enough. You can exercise the actual price to have it delivered to you if it matures. Now, if it doesn't mature, the risk is, yes, you get a hefty reward if you call it right. The risk is my option would expire worthless and I would lose that money and no chance to claim the shares. So XRP price spikes 10% as Robinhood quietly relists XRP. And everything you see me do started with my profits off of XRP. And I branched it into commodities. I branched it into precious metals. I've branched it into XRP healthcare. I've branched it into our, obviously the XRP we hold. I've branched it into everything you see me do today. Started from that time in 21 when I started with $3,500. Now, some of you see all the money. There's almost 13,000 on Cash App now from building up commodities here, and it's been flying now. The more money you have, the easier it is to make. Last year, if you were watching me, that same move on B2 Gold would have made me about $800. Now, because of how much we built it up, that same move made me $2,600. The 2 weeks or 3 weeks before that, the B2 Gold made us all $1,700 if you followed it. That's $4,000 in 1 month we made off of B2 Gold. That's, how much, for me, that's, you want to talk about a big help? Because my donations this month are at a yearly low right now, which I'm not afraid to say that. It's at a yearly low right now for donations and all that good stuff. So revenue basically on YouTube is almost at the year low. It's right at about the year low. But I believe in what goes around comes around. So eventually shit'll hit the fan and people will end up appreciating some of their value, will appreciate some of their buys, and they'll be sold, and then they'll end up paying it forward. So I believe karma plays a big part in all of this. What I give you, you give me, and whether everybody believes that or not, there's enough people that do, and that's what makes the world go round. The price of XRP registers a dramatic spike of 10% in the weekly chart shortly after popular trading platform Robinhood quietly relisted the coin. Quit yapping. CS, this is my program. That's all I do is yap. If you can't get through my yapping, you're in the wrong fucking spot, buddy. Excuse my French, but I like the yap, so get used to it. Just for you, I'll continue yapping. Over the weekend, may I add, my watermelon is coming out very nicely right now. And you know what? Speaking of which, I think it's a good time to update everybody on the growth of the watermelon since I'm yapping too much. We'll be productive here for Chris. Chris, don't worry, we'll get back to regular scheduled program CS in just a second. But the watermelon is looking fan-fucking-tastic. And, you know, I'm in Michigan. And then also I have a pineapple that I'll show everybody as well. I know I'm in Michigan, so it's weird that I have a pineapple, but I do. So here's the watermelon. And I know some of you have been following along the journey, so you know how the watermelon looks. It's getting bigger. Oh yeah, we're gonna have our relaxation when I sit back down. And then, just, you know, because I gotta make sure that I get everything in before we continue. You guys all know my pumpkin I grew. I grew it from another pumpkin that I bought last year. Let it sit out all year. Cut it into the ground, and I ran over the seeds with the lawnmower. You guys remember my big pumpkin, and this is how it looks now. A beautiful orange pumpkin, ready for Halloween, and I grew it myself. You can't, you know, it doesn't get any better than that, folks. It doesn't get any better than that. So now that we can continue our regularly scheduled programming, you know, I think it's nice that I share things about myself. And I think for anybody who's watching, you should want to know a little bit about me. But, you know, I have no problem taking time out. Oh, shoot. I gotta light this. So, ladies and gentlemen, somebody once made this for me because of my songs about the sun. I'm gonna have a short recess here. Ladies and gentlemen, the version of the sun somebody created for me, which is my voice. Sunny days, here again. Sunny days, here again. Sunny days, here again. Sunny days, here again. I wear glasses 'cause I'm so cool. I can predict the charts. Sunny days, here again. Sunny days, here again. Sunny days, here again. Sunny days. Join Tom's Army for $9.99 a month. But CS, how would you know where that came from if you didn't hear the original song? Ladies and gentlemen, thanks to our good friend CS and his personal request to see how we started this. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, when we're uncertain, when people are up and down in their momentum and the way they feel mentally, we started this all the way back into 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, the sun, sunny days are here again. Oh, sunny days, oh, what a day. Oh, sunny days, oh, what a day. I wear glasses 'cause I can't see a motherfucking thing. Happy days, oh, happy days, oh, what a day. Oh, happy days, oh, what a day. XRP will reign supreme. Let's just not get caught in the FUD. Oh, we're gonna crash, and we did, and we have, and we will, and we won't, and we might again. Oh yeah. They tell you it's bad, they tell you it's good. We don't know because we're getting screwed. Stay true, stay blessed. Yeah, so this goes all the way back to 2021. And then somebody created that song because I said it one time without the F word, and they said, okay, we can do this. Tanya, love, welcome in. Well, I already knew you were here, but thanks for being in Town Zone for over 1 year. Your daughter is laughing. That's what we're talking about. At least I'm not making her ears bleed with my music. That's what I like to hear. Thank you to Tanya's daughter. Thank you so very much, mate. I appreciate it. I think that's what I call you over there, mate. I certainly don't want to call you guys the C word like you call me. You know, I don't know how that's... I'm not exactly sure how that goes. And thank you, CS, for being a trooper. I quite often do that. And I make somebody else the reason why I can go through all of my stuff. So I appreciate you being a good sport. It means a lot to me. So let's continue. Back to the standard or the intended broadcast. So here's let's just go from here. So over the weekend, XRP staged a remarkable rally about 59 cents. It edged close to reclaiming the July high around 66.02 cents. Devin, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So Bad and a trusted mod. CS says you're dope. I knew I could win you over. I knew it. See, you made my day. You made my day. Interestingly, the uptick coincided with reports of Robinhood relisting the coin on its platform. Robinhood relisted XRP for EU customers. Despite not issuing an official announcement regarding the development, Robinhood's updated asset page shows that XRP is now among the trading platforms supported assets under the name Ripple XRP. The description triggered discussion among XRP enthusiasts, with many community members informing the platform that Ripple does not run the coin. At the moment, XRP is only available to eligible Robinhood customers residing in the European Union. With Robinhood failing to issue an official announcement about the relisting, it is unclear whether the company will extend the support to U.S. customers. For context, Robinhood first listed XRP on its platform in January of 2018. At the time, customers of the zero commission brokerage platform could create price alerts and check market data for XRP. I remember when that happened, but you couldn't buy it. You could just do that kind of stuff, watch the price action and so on and so forth. The trading platform joined several exchanges that delist XRP shortly after the US SEC charged Ripple with violating security laws via its sales of XRP. However, the legal challenge surrounding XRP ended after a federal court issued the final judgment in the Ripple lawsuit. This paved the way for XRP's relisting on Robinhood. Moreover, rumors of XRP relisting on Robinhood started making the rounds. Earlier this year, following the company's acquisition of Bitstamp, the $200 million acquisition is expected to be finalized in 2025. Does anybody have to ask me again why I don't like Bitstamp or Buystamp or however the hell you want to call it? That's one of the reasons. And that's the only reason I need. After completion, Robinhood would serve institutional clients through Bitstamp's cutting-edge technology while gaining full access to its 80 tradable assets available on the exchange, including XRP. So they delist it from USA users, right, and don't even allow us to buy it on Robinhood, but they're going to purchase a company that allows it, right? Talk about the biggest kick in the dick. They have no testicular fortitude, so we have to have it all. Consequently, Bitstamp's support of XRP triggered speculation that Robinhood would also support the coin after it finalized the acquisition. With a few months left before 2025, Robinhood has also already relisted XRP for its customers in the European Union. So more XRP support ahead after Ripple lawsuit resolution. The development comes days after Grayscale Investments reintroduced the XRP Trust, a crypto product that gives accredited investors access to XRP. The Robinhood Grayscale Investments also terminated the XRP Trust after the SEC filed the Ripple lawsuit. The top crypto asset manager reintroduced, did you see? Oh yeah. The top crypto asset manager reintroduced the product 1 month after Judge Torres issued the final judgment. Oh, and some of you might be wondering, yes, this is not a rumor. Gregory Mannarino did buy more XRP on the latest dip. He did buy more XRP. So that's not a rumor. If some of you know who Gregory Mannarino is, I watch him religiously every day. I like his content. I don't care for his political stuff. I mean, I like it, but that's not why I watch. I watch it for his stuff in the markets. But he did buy more XRP, interestingly enough. This suggests that XRP could see more support in the coming days. due to the resolution of the Ripple lawsuit. In the meantime, XRP is trading at 57.36 cents, but we know we've moved up just a tad bit here in the past several hours. We're up at about 58.26 cents. One thing though I want you guys to watch, and I've been thinking long and hard about this, and I'm going to show you right now. I was trying to figure out when I wanted to show. It's a 60-second thing from Mike Maloney. I figured people would be leaving, so I want as many people as possible to see this. See, people know my show too well when I'm getting towards the end. But gold, silver, watch. This is why it's important to hold gold as a store of value. And I can tell you from personal experience, I started turning dollars into gold back in 2018-19, and gold was all the way as low as around 1600. And same thing with silver, but not to the extent of gold, obviously, but it will be when it makes the big majestic run. But listen to the devaluing of the dollar in terms of how it's priced to gold. All you need to know is the gold standard, or the cost of 1 ounce of gold to US dollars, tells you everything you need to know about inflation. Look where it started at and look where we're at now. It's 60 seconds. Give this man 60 seconds of your time.
This is a 1906 $20 gold piece. It's just barely, just a whisker under an ounce of gold. This is a 1922 Treasury gold certificate. And this equaled this. Therefore, the US dollar used to be, this is $20, the US dollar used to be worth 1/20th of an ounce of gold. Today,
so it used to cost $20 to buy 1 ounce of gold. Now, that $20 bill, if you put it in a bank, if you pass it on to your next family member, is still worth $20. But look how much, back then you could have gave your family member an ounce of gold, remember. Now, by keeping a $20 bill instead of the ounce of gold, look what you could have now sold that ounce of gold out now. Instead of $20, look what it's worth now.
US dollar is worth 1/2000th of an ounce of gold. This now,
and now it's worth 1/2500th and 1/2500th of it now. So it's even devalued by 4 times. Well, about 20% from this, even worse. Let me play it again from the beginning. I'm sorry.
A 1906 $20 gold piece is just barely, just a whisker under an ounce of gold. This is a 1922 Treasury gold certificate. And this equaled this. Therefore, the US dollar used to be, this is $20, the US dollar used to be worth 1/20th of an ounce of gold. Today, the US dollar is worth 1/2000th of an ounce of gold. This now costs $2,000. That is a 99% loss in value. And just as a side note here, I picked this up when I was at the Bundesbank. This is a €250,000 after they've lived past their useful life and they shred them. I don't know if you can buy these from the Federal Reserve or not. I haven't checked. But these are on their way to being this.
So, I mean, put it in perspective. Like the devaluing of the dollar, it's not a joke. It's very, very real. Now, you know what would be nice here for Bitcoin? If it does reverse here, and it doesn't have to come all the way to that drop. And remember we talked about in the beginning, if maybe it could somehow pull a W here, that would be our one way out, but we still got so far to go. I don't know if it can. I hope so. This would give a lot of credibility for XRP. But we still got to get past that damn death cross here. That's the problem. And we haven't filled the technical drop yet. So we got some work ahead of us, but maybe we could change this bearish bias for Bitcoin that it's had the last, 24 to 35 hours now. Still doesn't look bad, though. Still doesn't look bad overall. Just looked like it needed a refresher, that's all. So, let's see. I've covered pretty much everything I needed to cover. I mean, I've got stuff to do here tonight. How long have we been on? We've been on for... we'll do about another 6-7 minutes here, but I've definitely got stuff to do. I know my son's about to get his last beating of the night, so I definitely want to be in there. But yeah, let's see. We talked about the XRP Bitcoin pairing. Let's look at HBAR real quick. Not really going to get into many others. I don't want to tire myself out too much. The more I go into, the more my brain spins. Let's see. So we got this. It could be a W reversal here for HBAR. It just sucks that we got rejected here. because now the suggestion is that was a bear flag as well. And if this plays to the downside, if it plays to the downside, and I'll look at ALGO. I like the person who asked about ALGO. So I'm a fan because this person's been in here over and over. So I'm going to look at ALGO. I'm not all that bad. Let's see. We got the rejection at 5. Man, that's tough. Because technically, just to save face, we should probably put it to the wick where the drop started. With the likelihood it could come down to 4.8 cents. But the understanding of if this is a Gartley reversal it just pulled, that if we hold this, we could stay strong. We could stay strong. So if we could hold 4.9, we could invalidate the drop to 4.8. And maybe this could pull a W, but like I said, there's the death cross there in the 45, which it's going to push out to the hourly. It's going to push out to the 2 hourly. It's a matter of fact. It's just, that's what's happening. And we actually came up there and got rejected in the 2 hourly. That's what sucks. 3 hourly, it completely reversed back down, was unable to form the golden cross. So the shorter time frames were unable to create the short-term pattern flip. But it could be making a W here, or it might have to come all the way to 4.8, which isn't that much farther. How big of a drop is that? Because it might just need to garner more support. Now, where everything's at, that's only about 3%, maybe 2.7. But where everything's at right now, it's interesting with that rate cut coming. Oh man, it makes this very difficult. ALGO. I'm a big fan of ALGO too. Big fan of ALGO. Down 2.5, and I believe if ALGO's at 12.2 cents, everybody always asks me if they should buy ADA. Why? If you can buy ALGO at 12.2, in my opinion, it's 10 times what ADA could ever hope to be, and maybe even more. 1970 Legend, thank you so much for that donation. Wow, first donation of the evening. That is incredibly generous. I need to see how much it was. That's just incredibly generous. But this is what I've been watching. Like if this can somehow hold to about right here, that's a big inverse pattern there on this short-term drop. And it could be creating a short-term little cup here. Thank you for the $9.99 donation, 1970 Legend. And also thank you for being in Tom's Army for your second month with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. Luo says, hey, sup, Tom. Hey, what's up, friend? And thank you for being part of Tom's Army for, I believe that's at 2 years plus with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. I think that's what it was. But I'm doing great, friend. I'm doing great. I have heard rumors about Casper. So I'm interested in ALGO. It's dumping out. We're going into oversold right now. Remember, my charts are inverted on the RSI. Something I do cleverly here so I can see who's been around and maybe who I need to give a little more instruction to. If they're asking those questions, it makes me know that there's newer people, so I have to explain deeper on some things. But we're oversold here. We've got plenty of room to come up a little higher, though, as well, if we wanted to. But with Casper, I think we had an overzealous dump-off because of what's coming. We had the buy the rumor, sell the news event, it looks like. Or sell the rumor. We had a run-up. We didn't quite get up to the 1.4. Came close, but we got rejected here at about 1.29, and now we came back through. But this could be an extreme opportunity here with it going live tomorrow. My patience has ended for no guys, for Casper, this would be the epitome of, oh my god, you just exited the race as it. So basically this would be the equivalent of sitting in the stands and the race got delayed for rain. And then right when it's about to start, like you can actually see it's cleared up, you get so pissed off that it's sunny out and that they still haven't started the race that you say, the hell with this. I'm not watching the race out of spite. And now, unfortunately, you missed the race itself. Well, in this case, you've been around for so long. I've seen that name for a while. You could be exiting right before the race. Now, by no means am I saying that this is going to happen. Okay? By no means. So we're going to find, I don't think this can happen, okay? Let me preface this by saying, I don't think this can happen. Okay? XRP Future Millionaire is not saying this is going to happen. Okay? That was just, if you brought it out there. Now, if we look at it in a better way. We can do it like this. So let's not get our panties in a bunch because there's no reason. It's not as big of a drop as I made it look out to be likely if it has to have a drop. And because we're on the bottom side of this and we broke out of the expansion zone, guess what? We're acknowledging it. So the drop zone is either 0772 or 0871. And I've talked about this a very long time about the under 1 cent possibility for Casper. Do I think it's going to go all the way down to 0034 like the one suggests? No. But that 772 is my buy target, remember. That's been my long-standing buy target. This first technical drop shows us, hey, 871. The longer drop could bring us to 347. Again, do I think it's going all the way down there? Probably not. But has it given us a reason to believe it could? Yeah, I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to be the speculator and the bearer of bad news. And I didn't even show the wider pattern, as I think some of you acknowledge right now. We only showed with the support down here. So I don't think it's going to come down there. Now, why do I say that's good news? Well, just assume that it goes the opposite way and we have to fill it out in the opposite direction. Well, then instead of coming to 3-4, we're talking about probably 2-3 cent area at minimum, and then possibly up to that 2.887 in time here. But Casper is definitely intriguing. As it goes down on this push, this really could be a final push from liquidity to fake everybody down, because if this, when it goes live, it very well could just have an explosion to the top side. And it's not going to go down forever, I promise you. Casper is very deep in the AI sphere. Casper is also very deep, in my opinion, and it doesn't get talked about like this, but what it offers, it's no different to me. So you have the initial, or you have the ISO tokens and the IoT, the Internet of Things. And in many ways, Casper could be considered a Internet of Things token because of its, with the AI sphere, that's going to help when it comes to the smart, like, let's just think about when we come to the smart time, with the smart houses and all this stuff, what's the number one running faction in that? AI. So the partnership with AI, I'm just saying, there's something bigger going on here, and I'm telling you, I have a firm target here. And if it does come down there, I will start to buy it again, big time. And I almost started to again at 1-1, but then I decided it was on the wrong side. I know it shows that, but technically the pattern showed us a drop. The technical drop was the 871 from that rejection up here. So who am I to tell it that the first rejection point isn't allowed to come down there? You know, and then my own personal estimation was 772 was where I wanted to buy. And then we have a bigger possibility of 347. But that, honestly, I'd say that I give that a 10% chance. The other one I give about a 35% chance in my buy area for a reason. Actually, probably a 40% chance. But it goes up if we get rejected here. But 10.2% is nothing to squawk at. It's nothing to squawk at. It's just we might have formed a big bearish breakdown. So we need to just, we need to see. And we also need to see if Casper is front running anything. Because it's quite odd how most of the market's reacting right now. What do we usually say about XRP when it's running by itself and Bitcoin and Ethereum are both dumping along with the market? What's the general consensus typically? Is that speaking of a further breakout or a rejection when we get to that resistance area? But I gotta get going. I have a signal from Julie. I need to go because she's gonna do the feeding for tea. Any last questions and comments? Actually, she's already started, I think. She's about to. I'm going to pick up 10,000 Casper right now. Ooh, excellent. 10,000 right now will run you about, what is that, about $109 right now? I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. I don't mind that at all. It's in a beautiful spot down 10.3%. And then we'll see if it fills out those 20-30% down targets. We don't know. Yep, Casper merged their AI with IBM Hyperledger. That's what we've been taught. We briefly discussed that. Some others have talked about that in the comments as well. So, but I'll see everybody tomorrow for the live. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Have a blessed evening, everyone. Thank you so much.